Hi, welcome to Power Sports Performance and Intense Speed Training video. Today we're going to focus on Olympic weightlifting. Olympic weightlifting is an exercise that can be performed for any sport. It can supplement a good exercise routine for lacrosse, swimming, track and field, most notably football and basketball. Now with that said, I'm going to start off with the power clean. We'll go through 4 Olympic weightlifting exercises today. First, power clean. We could include the power clean setup for your hang clean. Your hang clean is just above your knees. So as I discuss the technique to get into the right setup for your power clean, keep that in mind if you ever do the hang clean. It's just the same except for starting above your knees. All right, for your power clean, make sure your toes are under the bar. Make sure your back is flat as you go down. Flex your knees and your hips so your shoulders are slightly in advance of your knees. Grab the bar just outside your knees. Make sure your knees are flexed. As you accelerate, make sure everything moves as a unit. You want your hips and your shoulders to rise at the same time. Form that triple extension with your ankles, elbows, and knees. Catch the bar in a receiving position as you flip your elbows under the bar. That's your catch. That's your power clean. Next, I'm going to talk about the push press. Push press is an exercise that can also follow the power clean for a compound movement. So I'm going to execute the power clean, which I just discussed, but let me talk about the push press, which I'll execute after I complete the power clean. Your push press, after you've received the bar, came back up to full extension with your hips, set your base so your feet are still underneath your shoulders, slightly outside. I want you to flex your knees and your hips really rapidly. So you're going to flex your knees and your hips really quickly. Come back up to full extension. After you fully extend your hips, that's when the bar starts to accelerate. Bar goes all the way up over your head. So you got to get your head out the way. That's the trick about the push press. Make sure you're not pushing it out too far in front of you. Make sure you're going vertical. All right? You want your trajectory to be straight line, even on your power clean. Alright, that's your push press. Power clean into push press. Next, we're going to talk about your snatch as well as split jerk. So, first, let's go into your split jerk technique. Again, now we're going to start from the power clean position. So I want you to take all those cues we did on the power clean, put them into this exercise as your beginning. As your end, you're going to make sure you still use that same quick hip flexion into a full extension. But while extending your hips, I want you to split your feet so you form about a foot or 2 distance between both feet. Your front leg is actually what's going to be flexed the most. That's the leg that's going to be flexed the most. Your back leg, try to extend that leg as much as you can, which means you may have to get a little bit lower and push that foot back some. Now, a lot of people look at the push press and say, okay, it's obvious you're using both legs. They don't realize that you're also using both legs when you catch and accelerate on the split jerk. So even though you're landing with your feet in a split position, you're still going to have tension on both legs. All right, so let's go over the split jerk after our clean. That's your power clean to split jerk. Now, all those exercises you should do for more reps than just one, obviously. I'm just taking you through them real briefly. Next, we're going to work our snatch, which typically is an exercise you want to do with a little bit less weight than what you normally do your power cleans, your push press, and your split jerks. For today, I'm going to stay with this weight and execute what I would call a high catch, which means I'm not going to get that low. If I had heavier weight, I would have to get lower in order to catch the bar. Now, the cool thing about the snatch is that it's called the fastest exercise ever, which means if you do it right, it's actually faster than the hang clean, power clean, split jerk, all in one. It uses your total body, your whole body, but places a little bit more emphasis on your core. By the bar being so far away from your center of gravity, you have to really activate your core muscles in order to keep the bar steady. Shoulder stability is important here. Shoulder range of motion, shoulder flexibility. Setting up for the snatch, your hips and your knees are going to do the same thing as the power clean. However, your hands are now wider, about let's say 2 or 3 inches inside the post of the bar. So you want to go wide as you can. There's ways to measure how far your hands should be, but generally speaking, you want to make sure your hands aren't too far away from the post. So as I go down, I'll position my hands, hips, shoulders, slightly advance to the bar, same setup as the power clean. Make sure your elbows are outward, not back towards you. Elbows pointed out. I'm going to extend everything, catch with the bar over my head. That's your snatch, power snatch. You can do all those exercises from a hang position, as I mentioned. In order to do these right, you have to do a lot of accessory work before you start. There's tons of supplemental exercises that will enable you to do your Olympic weightlifting more efficiently. Plyometrics, strength training, flexibility training, and obviously cardio training, respiratory training too, because it does get your heart rate up. If you do these right, not only will you be more powerful, you'll be more explosive, you have better control, you'll also be able to dominate your opponent off the snap of the ball, or when that gun starts in track and field, you accelerate a lot faster out the blocks. I give you tons of ways and reasons for why you should do the Olympic weightlifting series as a part of your program. If you're not doing it, make sure you look into training with Powell Sports Performance, or part of our intense speed camps also cover Olympic weightlifting too. However, if you're not doing it now, find someone who knows a little bit about Olympic weightlifting, get with them, work on the basics. That way when you come see us, we can slap on some real weight. Again, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.